Yura ya Buaben Asamoah na don so eche na adwene edefa eye ensema do a yura eye mato poku pempe na po ebetra santimeter ya no se ya waka ye efa eye mokwa me nkroma comment no eho no se sa achew pa abato dwa se yura na po se opa achew se waka bibi na wanka ni ya efa che no ne ade efa kwa me nkroma comment no wase eye sincere sa apology no was sincere eye apology a yura na po enso so edeba abonten eno yensema do yura ya Buaben Asamoah so wode atu edwa wache na adwene ede afa ho ye papa panya sanketo busia yankode nten sema do yira ya Buaben Asamoah ono so ede atu dwane ba betanse na fe ye din 7 no so ho enkomo.
Well, so that's Peter McMenu there. The full interview is at 2 p.m. tomorrow. So it says a number of things that stands out. It's a gaffe. This contest is between MPP and NDC. I think later he corrected himself and said MPP, NDC, and the others. So I know lawyer Buaben Asamoah was readying himself to remind Peter McMenu that the movement for change, day inside, where you are still in the race for the presidency.
He's in where? He's in Cloud Kokuland. He is not in Ghana.
Why?
Pretending that character of individuals who lead us in the political process doesn't matter.
He says it will not have any material effect on the chances of the party.
McMenu is telling us that it is MPP, NDC as institutions who are involved in this election, and therefore they can bring anybody, irrespective of their character traits, to lead this process, and it will not have an impact on the people of Ghana who are going to vote. He is in Cloud Kokuland. Ghanaians are very, very aware of themselves. And that apology is so insincere. Right from the beginning, the succession plan engineered by the president has fallen flat. Bawumia was a false start, and Napo has crashed them in flames. They are already down in flames. They've crash landed.
How do you describe
there is nothing left. There is absolutely nothing left. Have you heard from the president and the flag bearer about what Napo said? Do you think it doesn't deserve a reaction from them? And McMenu was proud enough to say that the MPP hasn't said anything. The corporate MPP hasn't said anything about what the putative nominee, presidential nominee, vice presidential nominee has said. And it was not just about the Nkrumah thing. It was arrogance personified. You have just been washed clean by Otumfuo. Washed clean by Otum. Who spoke to you and told you that you are arrogant? You are arrogant, and be careful and make sure that you don't go and display that arrogance.
Saying so.
It is called kasakwa. When a chief is bending the talk in Proverbs, what he was telling you.
You are not a key man.
Yes.
You are not a key man.
And then immediately after that, you go and stand in front of a crowd. What do? You thank everybody. Because it's a redemption. Straight from the palace. You've been redeemed. You've been advised. So everybody will now assume that, oh, you were never brought up to be arrogant, and it's a public perception. So what do? You stand in front of a crowd and you thank everybody for accepting the new you. Instead, you begin by telling everybody who is dissatisfied with the party to go to hell. If you like, come. If you don't like, don't come. Because whether you like it or not, this is where you should be. And then from there, you go and insult the intelligence of the people of Ghana and tell them that there's no doom saw. And if you like, do what you like. Then you move beyond that and tell the people of Ashanti that Aziwofioye. So their planque is good for Ashantis, when it was not good for the man who has made him the vice presidential nominee. The flag bearer is telling him that being vice president is useless because it's an aplanque's job. You don't have any authority on otherwise. And he is inflicting that position on Ashanti. And Napo is telling Ashanti, resorting to tribal talk, that Ashanti should take what he is bringing to them, which is useless because Aziwofia Oye. And then he ends by destroying Kwame Nkrumah's by that disastrous attempt to paralyze Kwame Nkrumah and Nanado. Why does he have to idolize Nanado? Nanado is on his way out.
He says it's his opinion.
Yes, it is your opinion. You are entitled to have an opinion, but you cannot denigrate what was there already. So it is his opinion to say that Nanado is the best since independence. They say it all the time. We are the best. What they never admit is that they've been the worst in managing the economy. Oh, we've been the best since independence, providing roads. We've been the best since independence, railways. We've been the best since independence, free SHS. What they never say is that we've been the worst in declaring Ghana a bankrupt country. So Napo stands there and says Nanado is the best. That's his opinion. But when he throws his left hand into the air and says, Monfa Mokwame Nkrumah. Then you've gone beyond comparison to denigration. And then I guess somebody pulled his trousers because he almost mentioned Kufuor's name. He eventually mentioned Kufuor's name. And then he was pulled up short. Look, do you realize, if you were watching, do you realize how desperately embarrassed they were and they were trying to stop him? Pulling at him, the national organizer got himself a microphone to try and stop him. I saw people get up to come and stop him. A note was passed to him. That is how desperate they were. So it is not a matter of this insincere apology. It is a matter of a succession plan gone bad. It has been botched. The succession plan was botched. And it is still botched to the extent that Napo has crash-landed the MPP's campaign. It's over. When he went to the Western region, he had another opportunity to redeem himself. He rather went there and told them that he is right. Mm-hmm. And that as for him, he tells the truth. And in Ghana, he's the only truth teller, and the Ghanaians are psychopaths. He went to abuse us even further.
Yes.
He went to abuse Ghanaian voters even further. And McMedu comes to sit down and say it's between MPP and DC. So this useless duopoly process that dehumanizes the Ghanaian voter. Mm-hmm. A duopoly which presumes to use the name of an institution, MPP, NDC, rather than the character, the ability, the capacity of the individuals that are selected to lead. It's not a sustainable process. That is where I want to tell McMahon that he's wrong when he says that the MPP is between MPP and NDC. It's over. It is now between the people who can lead us. It is between the people who have vision. It is between the people who have performance. It is between the people who can lead us out of where we are to a point where we have stability, growth, resilience, and prosperity for all. And that is where we are going with Alan Martin. It has nothing to do with those institutions anymore. Nothing to do with those institutions. And if it has everything to do with those institutions, then the MPP cannot stand up to scrutiny, being led by Baomia, who has failed woefully on the economy, and being assisted by Napo, whose voice and body demonstrates arrogance personified. And all of it being presided over by a president on his way out, who assumes that we all love him and therefore doesn't care about what happens around him or what he does. And somebody just asked whether he's aware of the things that are going on around him, right here.
Okay. Well,
is he aware? Does the president really believe that where we are now, the MPP in whose name he's managing us is governing this country? No. Does the MPP itself believe that they are governing this country? No. The MPP as a political organization is being processed and managed by individuals who are in charge of the power and authority that the MPP has secured for them. This country, we've gotten to the stage where we shouldn't allow would-be leaders to hide behind institutional names. We should interrogate those individuals as leaders. We should get the best possible. There's hope in democracy. It's the best way forward, but the choice belongs to the people.
Well,
when you go to vote on 7th December 2024, look for the right kind of person who you will vest your executive authority and power in. Look for the person who has demonstrated a record of integrity, capacity, action, and vision. Don't go there and vote for an institution which is moribund, an institution which cannot progress you, an institution you've had experience of, which does not have the capacity and ability to lead you where you want to go. Vote for progress. Vote for the man who can take you where you need to go.
Right, I was any okoti eyira ya Buaben Asamoah we member edema movement for change ono so ne ana yete ne nyina efa eye Mokwame Nkrumah comment eyira ma to poku pempe okoka aye no enso so eho anu a che na adwene e dia fa ho na ni nkomo.
Okay, so ya Buaben Asamoah was a former communication director for the New Patriotic Party. We know just emre bidua emre to dane tie na no bi dia kan siria no wahwe because yesi anu edidi hia no nya no na edidi sika tie Buaben Asamoah asama ho kan no na akwakoye yi utie ne kasamu yeku a no kwa he admits say MPP has done well with the exception of economic hardship. Yes. Utie o say ene best then so economy de o mon kan wasam. Yes. etino said no crack asma na personal kind de me asam nan kasa poten de mini hu asem de ka because they say beauty lies in the sight of the beholder ono de ehunu na oka na the common sense ba toto ho a we be chire mu ana kwa se de oka kwa na kwa na ebom sa we Kwame Nkrumah no na wanya de because Kwame Nkrumah is not just a political figure for CPP watra political figure ababe national and global icon which emre bi ameka it is a who isu west bi ama no one way ya when Kwame Nkrumah no whether na Napo wo ho na woni ho no you were under him so okasa dan ka beda okasa emetrom na yempa pa usum nke ba beto ba pa usum but emre be twene so oni wa let's give respect to where the respect is due njuba kasa Kwame no ne asama wanka nyine mo we niam the same about where I am so no so a party belong to the party now you don't expect him say obeka somebody dey afa no ho eti ya bo bia some can there to some extent me feel say ne kwanso ano
right so hana ye dey nkomode dey ebesi yakra ho